What's up YouTube? Daniel Carter at Afro Herpkeeper here. Today I am excited to say we are actually headed out to pick up a new edition. I don't know if this is going to be something that's living with me temporarily or permanently, but it should be, I believe it's an adult rosehair tarantula. In addition, I'm going to be playing with my brand new camera, mounting it on the dash, and we will see how that works out. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, we have arrived and returned, and right down here we've got one healthy looking Chilean Rosehair tarantula. So I'm gonna head back home, and once I get there, we'll take a closer look at this girl. Once we get this girl inside, I think it is time to do some renovations on our setup. I'll walk you guys through that process, and then she can get some well-deserved alone time. So here is our tarantula. I can't quite tell her gender. I'm not very experienced in sexing tarantulas, and usually it does require a molt or an exoskeleton. Just for the heck of it, I think I'm gonna call it a she. And she is gorgeous. Look at that. These are one of the most popular, most common pet tarantulas. They are true to their name. They do have some rose-tinted hairs. It may not come across in the video quite as well as it does in person, but she is a gorgeous spider. And it's impressive. When you're holding her like this, you can feel her little individual legs. So this animal is a decent size, not a massive tarantula, but certainly big for a spider. I would say she's got at maximum about a 4.5 inch leg span. And we're going to leave her in this little critter keeper setup, but we are going to add another 2 or 3 inches of substrate, some tubes, some pieces of cork bark. This is going to be a very, very simple setup because tarantulas in general really like to refurbish their own homes. I'm only going to be putting some wood pieces in with our substrate, and the tarantula will do the rest. They burrow, they lay down silk. They're sort of masters of their own home design. So this substrate is a mixture of coconut coir, bioactive potting mix, and sand. And the bioactive potting mix is just a mixture of soil and wood fiber, things like that. But this kind of substrate is often used in hermit crab tanks. It can be compacted really well, and it holds its shape, which is very good for burrowing animals. So we're going to be putting however much of this it takes to build up a layer of, we'll say 3, maybe 4 inches in there, and then we're going to be putting in our wood pieces. So we did actually end up using all of the dirt that was in this container. And that left us with about 2 inches, which is not as much as I'd like, so I'm going to grab some extra coconut coir before we continue. Alright, with our coconut coir mixed in, that is, I would say, about 4 inches of height to the substrate, and that's good. That'll just let the tarantula burrow a bit. So our wood pieces, we have 3 bits of cork, and I'm not certain what sort of wood this is. I've just had the piece lying around for a while. Some types of wood are toxic, but there is a there are plenty of guides online to help you with that information. This one is a bit of a tube. Should be a nice hiding place, sort of a pre-made burrow for him. So we're going to have this one in this corner buried down a bit, and then I will figure out the rest. Alright, now that our wood pieces are in and we've got a couple makeshift burrows, I think it's about time to introduce this big girl. And hopefully she will feel right at home. We've got a couple little pre-made burrows in these pieces of cork bark, and then she obviously has the opportunity to build her own. Hopefully, in a couple weeks this will all be covered in webbing. Now, before I put this girl back up on the shelf where she's going to be staying, I will go over the feeding and watering requirements for this species. You'll notice I did not actually put a water dish in this cage. That was on purpose. She is just going to be misted with distilled or spring water, I'd say about 3 times a month. About weekly, I'm going to be throwing in crickets, dubia roaches, or superworms. And anything she doesn't eat, I'm going to take out the next day. You don't want to leave live insects in with tarantulas. If your tarantula is molting, crickets or other insects could chew on the freshly molted tarantula, and that's not fun. That is usually a fatal incident. She looks quite at home in there, and we are going to put this gorgeous, bright, hot pink purple lid on, very befitting of a rosehair tarantula, and we are going to slide her onto this shelf, and I think we can call it a day. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to let me know by leaving a like, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel and this is your first time watching, feel free to subscribe for more reptile, amphibian, and invertebrate related content in the future. Thanks for watching.